our channel. I'm Carolina.
And I'm Laura, and today we are going to be making 3 quick and healthy desserts.
For the first dessert idea, we're going to make Buckeyes, and they're gonna be keto style. So we're gonna be using erythritol, yet if you're not keto, you can feel free to use just regular cane sugar or brown sugar or whatever sweetener you prefer. These don't take a long time to make, but they have to stay in the freezer or fridge for about an hour to set once you dip them into the chocolate. So we'll go through everything in a second, but ingredients wise, what you're gonna need is a chocolate of choice that you can melt. So we're gonna use Montezuma's dark chocolate from Trader Joe's, and then peanut butter. Make sure that if you're gonna use a nut butter, that it doesn't have any added sugars, because you're gonna want to control the sweetness yourself with the sugar that you'll add. So this is just creamy salted peanut butter from Trader Joe's, and then erythritol, like we mentioned, and almond flour. That's it.
All right, so we're gonna start with putting the ingredients in the bowls. We're gonna start with 1 1/4 cup of the almond flour, but before I actually put it in, I just wanna let you guys know that there's not a great substitution for the almond flour because it is a more moist flour than others that are much drier. But just check the ratios, because I'm sure it would be a lot less of another flour than it would the almond flour. And the texture of the almond flour is just super yummy. So if you can get your hands on the almond flour for this recipe, please do so.
So Laura just finished mixing the peanut butter with the dry ingredients, and now we're going to melt the dark chocolate in the microwave. Just keep an eye on it every 30 seconds or so. And
you don't want to burn it.
Yeah, and then just mix it as you go every 30 seconds, and then the heat of the bowl and of the already melted chocolate should melt the rest of the chocolate. So you should be fine to do 30-second intervals. To assemble, you are going to take a little bit of the peanut butter almond flour mix, and then you're gonna dump it into the chocolate, and we're going to cover half of them with the chocolate and then leave half of the peanut butter showing, just because it looks cuter.
This is our ball size.
Phrasing. Okay, so once you're waiting for the Buckeyes to rest in the freezer, don't get rid of the remaining chocolate if you have any remaining chocolate, because for the last dessert recipe that we have, we're going to be using the rest of it. So nothing will go to waste.
Recipe number 2, we are going to make an almond flour chocolate chip cookie. And these are so good. I made them last weekend for my family when they came over, and everybody asked for the recipe. So these are a great go-to, and they're so simple and quick and easy to make.
Yeah, you very likely have all of these ingredients in your pantry.
So we're gonna have the dry ingredients in the smaller bowl, the wet ingredients in the bigger bowl. You're just gonna mix the dry ingredients together first and then add it to the wet ingredients. It's just to make sure that the salt and the baking soda are mixed together with the flour before you drop it in. So we are starting with 2 cups of almond flour. And then just roughly a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Because we're using a grinder, I'm just gonna give a few grinds. Okay, so we're gonna leave the dry ingredients off to the side for just a sec and move on to the wet ingredients. We're gonna mix 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, partially melted, with 3 tablespoons of pure maple syrup. So the key to when you're mixing the coconut oil with the pure maple syrup is mixing it as much as you possibly can until they completely form as one. And that's why it's important to not let the coconut oil melt too much, is because the way that it's solidified, it helps solidify the maple syrup with it, and then it all just kind of becomes like a hard liquid together. Next, we're gonna add in our 1 egg. Okay, that's good. And then lastly, our 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. And now we're going to add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. Okay, lastly, we're just gonna be adding in the chocolate chips. We are using a Lily's dark chocolate baking chips. I love Lily's because they're sweetened with stevia, so it just cuts back on the extra calories, but does not lack flavor. We're gonna be using a 1/2 cup of the chocolate chips, but feel free to change that up a little bit if you want, or you can add nuts instead or do some kind of ratio. So ideally you would use parchment paper to line your baking sheet, but we just ran out for the Buckeyes. So we're gonna use aluminum foil, and it's totally fine, it won't stick. If you're afraid of it sticking, you can just do a little coconut oil or olive oil spray. We're gonna start them just spoon-shaped and place on the baking sheet, and then once we get them all laid out, we will press them down. So we are preheating the oven to 375, and we're gonna leave them in there for 8 to 9 minutes.
All right guys, so for our final recipe, this could not be simpler. We're going to take the Too Good vanilla Greek yogurt. Feel free to use whatever yogurt that you normally use. This one's just delicious and it has that added vanilla flavor. And then we're gonna sprinkle some blueberries on there and cut up some strawberries. And we're going to drizzle it with the remaining melted dark chocolate.
This looks so good!
I'm really excited about this. The moment of delicious truth.
I'm not gonna lie, I already had some cookies. They're so.
Listen, if you're not eating while you're cooking, I don't know what you're doing. You're not living your life to the fullest. Super simple recipes, guys. Most of the stuff you'll have in your pantry already. You can do this for guests. You can prep some of these, like the Buckeyes. You can prep for the week. The yogurt, like little Parfait, is perfect at the end of your dinner during the week, or if you have company, make a big batch. Chop up some fruit and then just drizzle a little bit of chocolate. Could not be simpler.
It takes no time at all for the Parfait.
All right, let's dig in.
Okay, what are we starting with?
I'm gonna start with the Parfait.
A little ramekin, okay.
This is kind of my go-to dessert as of late. Oh, drop some chocolate. Hot man.
Oh my gosh, the strawberry is really good too. The chocolate is great because
These are like mutant strawberries.
it's drizzled over everything and it had a chance to harden, so it gives a really cool texture as well.
Really, really good. Okay, next, for my keto-ites out there. I love making these cookies. They're delicious. You can use the Lily's chocolate chips. Those are keto friendly also because they're sweetened with stevia. For the sweetener, if you want extra sweetness, sub the maple syrup for erythritol.
And when you do that, just add a little bit more coconut oil so that it's still moist and enough to all bind together.
Yep. Let's see.
Yeah, I'll take the smaller half because I've already had a lot.
Man down.
These are so good, guys. They have that nice golden brown on the outside with just like a little crispiness, and then they're soft on the inside, but fully cooked. It's that almond flour that keeps them soft and so good.
You should be eating these on the beach.
Ooh, I don't mind doing that.
I mean, last but not least,
Little Buckeye.
our Buckeyes. I'm gonna split one of these too.
Thank you. Oh yeah. Right away, I love the texture.
If you don't like peanut butter, listen, this isn't for you. Oh my God. These with a glass of almond milk,
So
for
good.
dessert. So good.
And they're actually like really satisfying to not have a lot. Okay, so these are fat bombs, and I think that's more of like a keto-friendly word, but it just means that it's more loaded with those good healthy fats, and it's gonna keep you satiated for longer, but still curb that sweet tooth. And so I was always nervous about fat bombs because I thought that I was going to want to have a lot of it, and then that would defeat the purpose of it satiating you for having just a small amount. Having just a half of that, wow, I can see how that would just satisfy the sweet tooth immediately and like fill you up. Like I want a little water or milk right now. I feel good.
Yeah, this is a great snack. It's a great dessert, and yes, one will be perfectly fine for you.
Yeah, they're really good.
And it's such a simple recipe too that if you want to tweak it, if you want to change up the sweetener that you add, if you want to, like I said earlier, control the amount of sweetness, you're at full liberty to do so because it's such a simple recipe and you don't have to bake it. So just mix it up.
All right, guys. So that's it for our 3 ideas for healthy, easy desserts. 2 that are keto friendly, and then 1 that's just got good pure ingredients in it as well.
But that you can make keto friendly.
Yeah, and you can kind of swap any of the ingredients for most of these things if you need to and make it your own. So comment down below if you try these and what you changed or what you loved about them. We'd love to hear.
Yeah, and don't forget to subscribe so we can keep producing these kinds of videos for you, and hit that thumbs up button.
Until next time, have a wonderful week. Bye, guys.
Oh, and then. And today. Yes, it is me. Oh. Here we go.
Dos platos hondos. Platos hondos. Right?
Awesome.